Joining me here at the state capitol. It is day 2 of the Chad Hasty Show at the state capitol. We're here through tomorrow, and we are broadcasting from Representative John Frullo's office, his staff. Been very nice to accommodate the show today. And today at the Capitol is Cotton Day. And in studio with me from Plains Cotton Growers, we're all here on the same day, is Steve Verett. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chad. Glad to be here today.
Well, I appreciate you coming by, and glad we're all here on the same day.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. We have to come to Austin to get together on the radio, but yeah, this is the Cotton Day at the Capitol is every legislative session event that we try to do with the cotton industry. We've probably got about 40 to 50 folks from the cotton industry, all the way from, of course, producers to cotton ginners to cotton merchants to cotton warehousemen, really representing the whole industry. And we don't have any real ask we're asking of the state legislature. We're mainly just trying to go by and visit with all of the offices. We divide up the offices. We do have a gift bag that we take by. It's for those of your listeners that may or may not know, Austin is a no plastic bag city.
That's right.
And so we thought it'd be kind of proper that we've got a cotton, heavy cotton tote bag with the seal of cotton on it. And then inside that we have a set of cotton towels with the Texas, state of Texas seal on it.
I like that.
And then also a sample bottle of cottonseed oil, flavored cottonseed oil that we take by to all the offices. And the main point we make is that how important the cotton industry is to the state. You know, it might surprise some of your listeners on the high plains of Texas that there's a lot of people we come across down here don't even know we grow cotton in Texas. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that we're the largest cotton growing state in the U.S. and that agriculture in general in this state is still the second largest industry, only behind oil and gas. So when you look at really what churns and what makes Texas grow, it's the natural resource industry, oil and gas, and agriculture, all of which are, taking things from the earth and making things happen.
How is the cotton industry right now? Obviously out in Lubbock and out in West Texas, we've talked about the drought the last couple of years. Right. So how is the cotton industry right now?
Well, the cotton industry, certainly, you mentioned the drought. It's been a tough 4 years from that standpoint. I guess that's the one bright spot that we have right now is that, for the most part, most areas in the high plains of Texas are probably in as good a shape moisture-wise as they've been since 2010. Mm-hmm. Now, does that mean the drought's over? By no means. We're still going to need planting rains, come the month of May. We'll need some rain throughout the season. But that part is, people are optimistic about. When it comes to the price side, it's not so great. It's we've been kind of bouncing around in that mid 60-cent area, and if a guy's able to make above average yields, he can probably make that work. But that's going to be awful tight, and if we aren't able to make those significantly above average yields, it could create some issues for cotton producers. But cotton farmers are eternally optimistic. And we're just hopeful at this time we're going to get a little cooperation from Mother Nature. We'll get a great crop started and bring one to harvest in next fall.
It was Steve Verett, Plains Cotton Growers. You mentioned that you weren't necessarily going around and asking for anything from lawmakers on this go around. But what are they telling you? What are they asking you about the cotton industry?
Well, I hadn't had too much dialogue in that regard. I've been doing some other work on some water issues. In fact, yesterday I was here and testified before the Senate Agriculture Committee, chaired by Charles Perry from Lubbock, about a confidentiality bill on water information that producers report to water districts on their usage. Under current law today, anybody can come in and request that individual information by well or by producer. And we feel like that's private property, just like the water is, and that if that owner or operator of that well says, hey, I don't want my information divulged as an individual, you can use it to do what you need to do to manage the water district, to do reporting on an aggregate basis, but I should have the right to keep that from being disclosed. Mm-hmm. And that was reported favorably out of the committee yesterday, 6-0, so We made some good progress on the Senate side. We'll be working with it on the House side. But, just in general, lots of times, what a big part of our work we do here is keeping things from happening to us,
right,
as opposed to necessarily for asking for something. One thing I would mention is, though, that has been a great public-private partnership is boll weevil eradication. This state is practically boll weevil free except for the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. And that's been a great environmental happening. I don't think we talk about that enough, that before the boll weevil was eradicated, probably 75 to 80% of the pesticides that were applied in cotton were boll weevil related. Well, now that we've eradicated that boll weevil, those pesticides are not used anymore. It's been a great environmental benefit, and that was a public-private partnership. About $1 billion has been spent over the last 10 years to do that. Total, about 300,000 of that was state money, and 700,000 of it was producer money. So it's a great example of a public-private partnership that's benefited this state very well.
You mentioned that oftentimes when you're down here, or when really any group, any person is down here,
Right,
you're often trying to get them, the legislature, not to do something. Is there anything in particular, any bills out there that Plains cotton growers, yourself, you've been looking at and hoping, okay, ledge back off in this area?
Well, it's mainly on the water issues. We're very protective of the water that we have. It's important to our industry. It's important to let local control make the decisions about that. We've had some changes in our area in the Water District Board and some things, and the legislature lots of times, not necessarily being critical of anyone in particular, but they tend to want to do things one size fits all. And the fact of the matter is, what goes on with water in the high plains of Texas is a lot different than what it is in central Texas or the Rio Grande Valley of Texas.
Right.
And one size fits all rules do not work. And so that's why, the legislature, we believe in their wisdom, set it up. The groundwater is governed by locally elected groundwater conservation districts. And so, that's what we're supporting, and we just want to make sure nothing happens that erodes that ability for those locally elected boards to make those decisions.
All right, Steve Verett, Plains Cotton Growers, where are you heading after this?
Well, we've got a meeting over at TDA this morning. We're going to be sitting down with TDA staff. We're going to have a lunch over there, and we're still, after we delivered all the bags, everybody's kind of going around and visiting maybe their individual representatives or senators, and just trying to touch base with everybody and finish out the day and head back to Lubbock about 4:25 on the company plane this afternoon.
All right, sounds great. Appreciate you coming by. And how can people get more information on Plains Cotton Growers?
Well, we have a website, www.plainscotton.org, or you can give our office a call anytime at 806-792-4904, and any of us there on staff will be glad to answer any questions or do anything we can.
All right, Steve Verett, appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Chad.